Greetings, fellow Zimbabweans. We are a country in crisis. 4 decades of misgovernance, of corruption, of patronage have combined to put us in this quagmire that we find ourselves in. And we have looked for solutions. But unfortunately, both our local, national politics are in a quagmire. Our local government is in disarray. When you turn on the tap, you get either no water, or you get brown water, or you get completely unhealthy and safe water. You have sewage running in our towns and cities, in open spaces. We have outbreaks of cholera and typhoid. And at a national level, it is a catastrophe. Is it perhaps not time to consider a different way, a better way, a new way of doing Zimbabwean politics? Because what we've experienced so far to date has done nothing but create division, bring upon misery to the people, and widespread poverty. It is possible to find a party that is constitution driven, because our failures, most of our failures, go back to a basic lack of constitutional behavior. We have allowed impunity because we have not insisted that the constitution be followed. The Zimbabwean people worked very hard, were consulted, and came up with the People's Constitution. All government needs to do is implement that constitution. All you need to do is to elect a government that will govern according to the Constitution of Zimbabwe. It is time for a better way, a higher way, a new way of doing politics in Zimbabwe. But it requires a shift in our thinking. It requires us to have the courage of our convictions. It requires of us to discard party loyalties simply because you wear a t-shirt. It requires of us to become faithful to Zimbabwe, to the future of our country, and to focus on the ideas that will help us to lift our economy, our core values as a people, out of the morass and the cesspit that we find ourselves in today. You can do it. The solution lies in your hands. It is time to stop being loyal to politicians that have continued to belittle your integrity, to raise hopes that are dashed on the rocks of non-delivery, to raise expectations that are not met. And so the choice is yours. In APA, you have an alternative. You have a third way that is going to help to lift this country out of poverty, that is going to put this country on the path to prosperity, to sound economic management, service delivery, and that will bring back national cohesion. But you have to make the choice. You have to make the conscious and deliberate choice to begin to think about the kind of future that you want, rather than depend on the promises, the pie in the sky promises, and the lies that have been foisted upon you by politicians in the past. It is time to think differently. It is time to consider a third way, and it is time for Zimbabwe to begin to take responsibility for its future away from the politicians of old and the traditional way of doing politics. Think about it.